Young Mauricio Umansky photo shows his life before REKUBA. Mauricio Umansky was one adorable kid. Need proof? Look no further than his recent Instagram stories. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills husband offered fans a blast from the past with an adorable photo from his childhood. The black and white picture showed a little Mauricio standing on a golf course alongside one of his lifelong besties. Not that I want to age myself, but I was playing golf with my BF and cousin Sam, he captioned the throwback. This is 1975. Well, it seems some things never change. A few minutes after sharing the photo, Mauricio returned to Instagram with a recent snap of him and Sam back on the golf course. 50 years later, 2025, he wrote in the story, Mauricio reflects on his childhood and coming to the U.S. in the 1970s. Judging by the caption, Mauricio was around 5 years old when the first picture was taken. The real estate mogul was born in 1970 in Mexico City to clothing manufacturer Eduardo Umansky and psychologist Estela Snider. In the mid-1970s, the Umansky family left their home country to start a new life in Los Angeles. The father of three shared his immigration story in a 2021 video for Travis Mathew. My family moved to the U.S. in 1976. I was 6 years old, he said. It was a time in Mexico where the politics were very turmoil. There was a lot of nationalism in terms of the government taking away businesses. There was a major devaluation of the peso. Mauricio said his family moved to the U.S. for several reasons, one of which was the U.S. business opportunities. His father, Eduardo, eventually opened a textile business in Southern California, a venture that exposed Mauricio to sales. The reason that's important is because that helped shape me in what I now do, which is selling, he said. I've been selling all my life. Mauricio worked in his family's textile business until it was sold in the 1990s. Mauricio makes a major career pivot with Kyle Richards. At age 24, Mauricio met his now estranged wife, Kyle Richards, at an LA nightclub. The couple married in 1996 and went on to welcome 3 daughters, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia Umansky. Kyle entered the relationship with a daughter, Farah Brittany, whom she shared with her ex-husband, Garash Al-Jafri. Years into the marriage, the Umansky family's move to the United States. Mauricio Umansky's life story begins in Mexico City in 1970. The son of Eduardo Umansky, a successful clothing manufacturer, and Estela Snider, a psychologist. At the time, Mexico was going through significant political and economic turmoil. Mauricio's father, Eduardo, saw the writing on the wall as the Mexican government began nationalizing businesses, and the devaluation of the peso made it difficult to maintain a stable financial footing. After all, no one could predict the challenges the 1980s would bring. In the mid-1970s, the Umansky family made the bold decision to leave behind the world they knew in Mexico and immigrate to the United States. Mauricio was just a boy of 6 years old, and like most young children, the transition was less about understanding the gravity of such a decision and more about the experience of being in a new place. But he would soon realize that the decision would change the course of his entire life. Mauricio, like many immigrants, had to adapt quickly to life in Los Angeles. At first, his family struggled to find their footing, but they persisted, working hard to build a new life. Eduardo eventually started a textile business in Southern California, and it was in this very industry that young Mauricio would learn the ins and outs of sales, negotiation, and the power of connecting with people. In a 2021 video for Travis Mathew, Mauricio shared his reflections on those early years, recalling how the decision to move was motivated by a combination of factors, from political unrest to a desire for better business opportunities in the U.S. It was a time in Mexico where the politics were very turmoil. There was a lot of nationalism in terms of the government taking away businesses. There was a major devaluation of the peso, he explained. For Mauricio, this meant early exposure to the concept of business. His father's textile company, though humble in its beginnings, set the stage for Mauricio's future in the world of real estate. "I've been selling all my life," he noted in the video, acknowledging the significant role that early experiences in his family's business would play in shaping his career. From family business to real estate mogul. By the 1990s, the textile business had been sold, and Mauricio found himself searching for a new path. A pivotal moment came when he met Kyle Richards, the reality television star and the now famous housewife, at a nightclub in Los Angeles. The two quickly formed a bond, and before long, they were married, with Kyle bringing her daughter Farrah Brittany from her previous marriage into their blended family. Mauricio and Kyle went on to have 3 daughters of their own, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia Umansky. It wasn't long before the couple realized that they were ready for a new professional challenge. Mauricio was introduced to the world of real estate, and he soon fell in love with the industry. "A new path in my life started, selling real estate, which is what I always loved. Architecture, design, interior design, all of these things," he recalled. Mauricio's passion for architecture, design, and interiors quickly fueled his ambition in the real estate world, setting the stage for a career that would surpass even his wildest dreams. But it wasn't all smooth sailing at the start. Mauricio had to navigate the competitive Los Angeles real estate market, relying on his instincts, work ethic, and the lessons he had learned from his father's business. The major turning point came in 2011 when Mauricio co-founded the agency, a luxury real estate brokerage firm that would become his defining achievement. With his extensive knowledge of the market, coupled with his drive and ambition, the agency grew rapidly and became one of the most successful real estate companies in the world. Today, the firm boasts more than 120 offices globally and is valued in the billions. Mauricio's success, however, goes beyond the luxury properties and multi-million-dollar transactions. The company also became a family business, with his daughters Farrah, Alexia, and Sophia joining the agency's Umansky team. In an interview with Briefing on Bravo in 2022, Mauricio opened up about how rewarding it has been to build the company with his family by his side. "Working with my family and my kids has been absolutely extraordinary," he said. "They teach me something every single day, and I love it. The fact that I get to do everything in my life with them, both at work and at home, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's a dream." A glimpse into the past, the Mauricio we don't know, looking at the photo of young Mauricio on that golf course in 1975, it's hard to imagine that this was the same person who would go on to become a multi-millionaire businessman and a central figure on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.